because I had no idea where life would take me. Like you all don't know where life is going to take you. You're living now in the 8th grade, but then you're going to be 9th, you're going to be 10th, you're going to be 11th, you're going to be 12th, and then you're going to be out the door from your parents' home. And you're going to be either in college, in the military, working, hopefully doing something productive. But you have to start thinking about those things now. And you probably wonder, why do I need to think about being an adult now? Because who you are will follow you all your life. I remember when I went and asked the sheriff to get his support when I was running for election. And he said to me, well, I don't know anything bad about you, so I don't have a problem supporting you. That told me that he had looked into my past to see what he could find. Because everything you do follows you. Everything you do follows you. So I'm going to talk to you today about 4 things, and I call it hope. And the first one is a healthy environment. The H stands for a healthy environment. We don't choose our family. And we all got some characters in our families. We got some characters in our family. We got some good people in our family.
Oh, yes, you.
We don't get to choose our family, but we get to choose our friends. And so you have to be careful about who you allow to be your friends. Have you ever had someone ask you to do something and it didn't feel right? Well, then don't do it. If it don't feel right, don't do it. Because it's probably going to turn out bad. And then you have to face the consequences of that. So your healthy environment starts with making good choices with your friends. People who are going to tell you when you're doing wrong. You don't always want someone to look in your face and always agree with what you're saying. You want them to be able to say, no, I don't think you should do that, man. I don't think that's the right thing to do. And you may say, well, I'm going to do it because I want to do it. But a good friend will tell you when you're making bad choices. That's a good friend. And you can be a good friend to your friends by helping them make good choices. So keep yourself in a healthy environment. Make good choices. You're going to be in high school next year. High school starts the first day of the 9th grade. It starts the first day of the 9th grade. Why? Because every year you earn credits. More credits and more credits. So when you get to be a senior, you're ready to graduate. There's nothing worse than to be supposed to be a junior, but you're a freshman. You didn't do anything. You didn't do your work. So now, the people that were in class with you now, they 2 grades ahead of you, you're behind. And some of those things may have happened to some of you all in elementary school. That's okay. Leave it there. Just don't go forward with that. When your teachers ask you to go in and do your work, your homework, do it. Some of you are probably thinking, I want to be a professional football player. That's great. I want to be a professional basketball or baseball player. That's great. But as the athletic director at Liberty County High School, when that coach would call me on the phone and ask me, and I'll just say Johnny, about Johnny, his first question was, what kind of kid is he? What kind of attitude does he have? Is he coachable? Will he listen? Then the next question was, what kind of grades do he have? Because see, there are thousands of others just like you. When you get to college, you're just a pin on the wall. Because there are hundreds there just as good as you or better. And so they want the right attitude and they want the child with the good grades. How many of you ever heard of esports? Anybody know what esports is? Anybody want to tell your other classmates what it is?
Okay.
How about you, right back here? Can you tell your classmates what esports is?
It's basically a gaming league where people play video games.
Speak louder, I can't
It's
hardly
basically
hear.
a professional league where people play video games.
Professional league where people play video games. Guess what? We're gonna be having that coming up in the next year. We got a grant in this district. How many of you like playing games? How many of you think you're really good at it? Because I know I can't play, but y'all know you're good at it. Y'all good at it. And some of y'all compete against each other. Okay, guess what? Guess what? It's gonna be offered here in the school district. When you hit the 9th grade, I'm not sure if they will have it for 9th graders, it may start in the 10th, but it's gonna be offered. And guess what they're gonna be looking at? Your attitude, your grades, your attendance. They're gonna be looking at all of that to choose students who are capable of handling all that and the gaming. And you will be competing. You know how some of you play football and you compete against others? You'll be competing against other students in the district, over the state, and some of you may become professionals at it. So that's another reason to make sure you're in a healthy environment with your friends, because you're gonna be adults. Men, you're gonna be the head of your household one day. You're gonna be the man. You'll be the father. Not anytime soon, but you'll be the father. Ladies, you're gonna be the queen of your castle. You'll be the woman in your house, because you're gonna have to leave your parents' house. So I want you to start thinking about keeping yourself in a healthy environment. Opportunities in society, that's the O. Opportunities are gonna come your way, and some of them are gonna be really good. And when the opportunity comes, I want you to step into it. Step into it, stand strong, be able to look whoever you're looking at in the eye and talk, mean what you say what you mean, because you're gonna be adults. You're gonna have opportunities. Somebody may ask you, well, do you want to be in the gifted program? Think about it. If you're going to do the grades, say yes. They may ask you, do you want to take classes at the Career Academy? How many of you know what the Career Academy is? You want to tell your classmates what it is? Speak loud. Go ahead, I'll help you out if you're not quite there.
I can't hear you, Ms.
Yeah,
Humphrey.
it's out on Airport Road, and the 2 high schools. You want to tell us?
Yeah,
I see 2 hands back there.
the high schools go there and they get college credits. while they
College
take high school
credits.
classes.
You can actually go there if you don't want to go to college. How many of you don't want to go to college? Anybody? That's okay. Guess what? If they had LCCA when I was in high school, I probably wouldn't have went to college either. And I'm gonna tell you why. They got so many careers out there now that you can go out there for 2 years and come out with a certificate and go ahead and make $60,000 and $70,000 and $80,000 right off the bat a year. A year. They got welding, they got aviation, they got cosmetology, they have nursing, they got teaching as a field. If you want to get your 2 years of college in free, you can get 2 years of college in free. So when you go to college, you are already a junior. But again, it's attendance, it's your grades, it's your attitude, and it's your behavior. All that is wrapped up in one packet. So when somebody's trying to pull you out to get you into a fight, you got to think, is this what's best for me? I can fight him, and I probably can beat him, but is it going to help me? Am I going to fight her about some boy in the 8th grade who I probably won't know where he's at next year? 2 years from now, he's not going to be your husband probably. So what you fighting over him for? Because they just go, boy, just going to stand back and look at you. Man, she fighting over me. You guys know what I'm saying. it right. Yeah, I know. Why? Ladies, you got to start thinking about yourself. About yourself. About yourself. So as we talk about the healthy environment, opportunities in society, the other one is protect your character.
Character.
Protect your character. Don't steal. Don't steal. Because if you steal now, you're going to steal later, and you're going to have a record. And you're going to be in jail. So protect your character. Protect your character. I'm throwing a lot on you today. And I'm throwing it on you because you're getting ready to go into high school. And I really do. I want the very best for every one of you. I want you to make more money than I'll ever make. I want you to have more than I'll ever have. I really, really do. Because I personally believe that it's my job to make the world a better place for the next generation. You're the next generation. I'm doing what I need to do, but I'm doing it because I love you. I love you. I want you to have the best. When I go to those board meetings, it's all about what I can do to make it better for you. For you. So when they came and started talking about esports, I'm going like, yes. This is another opportunity for our children to be exposed to something that can help them be successful. Yes. 2 years of college before you get out of high school? Yes. Free? Yes. And some of you are probably wondering, Miss Baker, I won't be able to go to college. My parents can't afford for me to pay to go. Mine couldn't either. My mind could not either. There are all kinds of scholarships out there. I didn't get any of those. I had to get a student loan. A lot of people say, I don't want to borrow money to go to college. Why not borrow the money? When you get out, you're going to make it. You can pay it back. It was worth every penny of it. It was worth every penny that I borrowed. So don't start thinking, I can't go to college. Do the work. Guard your character. Yes, you can. Apply for the scholarships when you get to that time. And if you don't get them, do what you have to do to go to school. So you can be successful. I see students graduate from high school and they go to work at McDonald's or Chick-fil-A, and they work their entire life there. Living at home with mom and dad. You don't want that. You want your own house.
Yeah.
You want your own car. Your own motorcycle. You want your own stuff. I told my children, I didn't raise you all up to stay here. I raised you all up to get out and get on your own and be successful. If you need help, we as parents understand that, but not for you to stay there. No. I want you to be successful. Have the best of the best given to you. The best. The very best. E is for education. Education is valuable. It is the tool to success. Learn all you can. Get help when you need help. Don't be ashamed to ask for help. All of us needed help at some point or another. And sometimes we still need help with certain things. I don't have a problem asking for help. I want you to get that out your head. I don't want anybody to know I'm struggling in math. Guess what? They probably struggling in something else. I don't want anybody to know I need help in science. Guess what? Somebody else is struggling in science too. Ask for the help. I had a student athlete years ago, and he was an outstanding track runner. Outstanding. When I tell you outstanding, he got a scholarship to the University of Florida. Then he went to Texas. He went overseas. Right? He was excellent. Excellent. He was so smooth when he ran. His body like it was shimmering, just like that. That's how good he was. But he had a learning disability. He had a learning disability. but the University of Florida wanted him. And when they called me up to talk to me about him, I said to them, this is what he's going to need. He's going to need his personal tutor. He's going to need a computer that he can talk into and speak into, and he can type for him. All those little things he needed to be successful. All those things. We arranged his schedule in high school to make sure he got up to Algebra 2 because that was a requirement to go to a Division I school. We did all those things for him, and that's what your teachers and your athletic directors will do for you in high school, if they know you've got some concerns. But you have to say, I'm having trouble in math. If your desire is to play collegiate football or basketball, but you know you're struggling in an area, open your mouth and start asking for help. He went on to have a successful track career. Very successful track career. How many of you know Richard LeCount? Know of Richard LeCount? No. Who played football down at Liberty High?
My nephew played.
The most humbling experience I had with Richard was the night, I think he signed. Maybe he signed, or maybe we were having a little going away for Richard. And his mom got up there and talked about him and said, for Christmas, she was shocked. It was Richard's sophomore year in high school. And asked him what he wanted for Christmas. And he said, a math tutor. She said, a what? He said, a math tutor. And she said, why do you want a tutor for a Christmas gift? He said, because Mom, I plan to play professional football. And in order to get there, I got to have the right grades. And I need help in math. And that's what they got him, was a math tutor. Richard is now playing for the University of Georgia. Probably will be drafted. He asked for a math tutor for a Christmas gift. I'd never heard of such. But you got to put yourself in line for success by knowing what your weaknesses are, getting that help to help you be successful so you can go to the next level. Yours may not have anything to do with athletics. Maybe you want to be a chef. Maybe you're good at cooking. They make a lot of money too. They in these 5-star hotels, and they making a lot of money. Some of them over hospitals or whatever, the dining, they making a lot of money. Maybe that's your gift. Maybe your gift is auto mechanics. Maybe you like tinkling with cars. I met a young man down in Glenn County in Brunswick, had just finished the career academy. His first year out, he opened up his own body shop. He made $100,000 the first year. I'm just saying to you, maybe your gift will make you successful, and it will, but you have to know what it is. Maybe you're good in math, maybe you're good in science, maybe you're good in language arts, maybe you're good with that gaming thing. You know, whatever your gift is, start thinking about your future. When you go home today, I want you to do something for me and something for you. I want you to start thinking about your goals. What are your goals? Where do you want to be 10 years from now? Some of you will be 24, 23, maybe 25. I don't know, 10 years from now. You know how old you are now. Where would you like to be at that age, and what would you like to have going on in your life at that time? At 24, 25. Where would you like to be? What would you like to have accomplished by that time? Nobody talked to me when I was your age about the future. I had no thoughts about going to school to be a teacher. That was my daddy telling me, you're going to school to be a teacher. I listened. I enjoyed it. I taught for 31 years, enjoyed all of it. I don't have 1 year that I regret it because I love working with young people. And some of you coming in, I spoke, and you all spoke back to me nice and bold. Some of you were shy, and you didn't know how to take this lady. I was the same way when I taught school. just as lively. Miss Baker, she'll tell you, just as lively, because I like young people. I enjoy seeing what you're gonna turn out to be. I like to see you come back in a few years and say, oh, I met so-and-so and I'm doing so-and-so. And then I hated reading the paper where I would see a student and he's being locked up for something. That hurt. That hurt. That means I must have did something. I missed something in him or her. So I'm saying to you, I hope I'm sowing something into you all today that will take you on. And if you can pass it on to your siblings as well. Start talking with your siblings about them. But you've got an older brother, younger sister, whatever it is. Start sowing into them. How many of you are the oldest in the family, in your house? Your young ones are looking up to you. And whatever you decide is going to help them be successful. They're looking up to you, and that's a lot on your shoulders to carry. But they're looking up to you. I looked up to my older sister. She went to college, so I knew I had to go. I was going too. So if you're the oldest, you got a lot on your shoulders because your younger siblings are looking up to you. So you got to set the example. And you all can set the example in your group, in your friend circle. Set the group, start asking them, man, what you want to do when you get out of high school? Start having that conversation. It's not too early. Start having the conversation. What you want to do? Man, I want to do this. I want to do that. And if whatever they say, don't tell them they're crazy. Man, you ain't going to ever do that. No, say, man, you may be good at it. I look forward to you doing that. You want to open a automobile shop? Maybe I'll bring my Ferrari over there. Maybe I'll bring my so-and-so over there. Maybe you can fix it up. You wanna go in culinary art? You good at cooking? Get your restaurant. Let me know. Stay in touch. I'm gonna come eat at your place. And don't just go in there to work it. Own it. Decide you want to own the business. I have a cousin who started working at McDonald's with his brother. He ended up owning 4 McDonald's. He ended up owning 4. He worked his way right up and owned 4. So if you're going to go to work for McDonald's, don't consider working for them. Consider you're going to own one of them. You're going to own the place. Yeah, think about it. Why not you? Why not you owning the business? You capable of it. You'll be a good boss, won't you? Won't you? Yes, you will. You'll be a good boss. And then you can help some of your young people become successful. Chick-fil-A hires young people every year. Did y'all know that? And they help them pay for college. Did y'all know that? I went down there last year. He had about 10 kids. And they gave them thousands of dollars to help pay for college. Chick-fil-A. So if you want to work somewhere, Chick-fil-A. I was shocked. And one of the kids were at Georgia Southern. He got money his first year there, and they gave him money again last year. Chick-fil-A. Money for college. I'm just throwing something out at you. You may want to look for a job down there this summer, whatever. Okay, I'm gonna hush, and I'm gonna answer some questions. You got any questions for me? Come on, give me something. Y'all don't have any questions for
Mr.
me?
Thurman is thinking.
Y'all don't have any questions for me? How many of you have born and raised in Liberty County? You may have family here. Okay. What's your name? Can't hear you. What's your last name? Hawkins. You don't have family here? The reason I ask is some of you may be some of my great-great-great-grandbabies. And why I say that, because I may have taught some of your parents or grandparents or whoever. I may not be old enough to teach your grandparents, but maybe, you know. I may be, She telling me, yes, ma'am.
Tell me your name. I can't hear you.
My name is Natisa
Last name?
Hills.
Hills from Walthamville? Okay. Okay.
Oh, your grandparents.
I taught some of them. Anyone else? Pardon me? That's your last name? What's the last name? Davis. Cooper. Davis. How many of you all are military? You know, you got somebody, you got hit by the military by one way or another. You know? Okay. How many of you will be going to Brightwell? Who else? The others will be going to Liberty?
You just don't know where Liberty.
You don't know where you're zoned to go yet? Okay. Some of you will probably go, most of you, Louis Craig, most of you are going to Bradwell. One or two of you may go to Liberty because of where you're zoned. Going to Liberty? I taught at Liberty for 14 years. Okay. Questions? Ask me something. Yes, sir.
What did you put on hold to make sure that where you are now was what you wanted?
I put on falling in love and getting married. Because I was determined that I was gonna get my college education, I was gonna get married, and then I was gonna have children. And I wanted a man that had some of the same goals. I wanted a man that wanted a career. I wanted him to want a career and work at it. And then I wanted my children from my husband. So I decided to kind of guard my heart. I did date, I just wasn't falling in love. And I made that clear from the beginning. I wasn't falling because I wanted to make sure I finished college first. I wanted to make sure I did that. That was something that I really wanted to do. And I felt I needed to do it before getting married. Yes, sir.
What was the hardest part of college?
The hard part of college?
Student.
The hard part of college, let's see, was the self-discipline, because no one is there to wake you up to go to class. You have to want it yourself. You got to get up and go to class. No, you can't skip whenever you want to. You can't skip whenever you want to, because they're keeping a check. In college, most of your professors know you by your number. A number. You have an ID number, and they kind of know you by your number, but they also know we are creatures of habit. We come in and we either go to the right or we go to the left. You all gonna notice this from now on. Or we like to sit in the back or we like to sit in the front. We're creatures of habit, so we get used to seeing you where you're sitting. And they see your face, and so they know you're not there, but they give you assignments, and you have to go online. Everything is now computerized now, and you have to go online and do that work and submit that work, but you got to go into class as well. So the hard part was the self-discipline, being able to want to go to a party, but know I got work to do, and I can't go to the party because I got work to do, and it's due in the morning. And I know I've got to get this in tonight. So a lot of you all probably say, I do my best work last minute. That's not true. That's not true. Your best work is when you take the time to lay it out and plan it and do it. So the hard part in college, and if you go to college on a athletic scholarship, your life is no longer your life. Your life belongs to the coach. They tell you what time to get up. They tell you what time to work out. You get up, you go lift weights, you go get breakfast, you go to class, and then you come to practice. That's the way they lay it out for you. They tell you how high to jump, and you jump. Because when you sign that dotted line, you're giving up just about everything about you. You wake up, you go lift weights, you eat breakfast, you go to class, and then you go to practice. And that's year round. That's year round. Same thing with the military. They tell you exactly when you're going to do this, when you're going to do that, and that's okay. Because what you got to realize, it's only for a short period of time. It's not for life. You're gonna be on that scholarship for 4 years, 5 at the most if you're redshirted, 5 at the most, and then you on your own. But if you sign that dotted line with that professional team, they gonna tell you same thing. When you need to be here, when you need to be there, when you need to be where you need to be. So the hardest part was the self-discipline. Doing the work wasn't hard, because if you do your thing while you're in high school, you'll be prepared for college. You'll be prepared academically for college. If you're struggling with math and you have to get help in high school, you'll probably need to get it in college. But you'll be able to master that. You'll be able to handle that. But it's the self-discipline. And also choosing your right friends. Because people come from all over the world, and they have different habits than you, and you've been raised one way and they've been raised another way. But like I told you earlier, if it doesn't feel good, then don't do it. Don't do it. Yes, sir.
Okay, what type of GPA would you have to have from an academic scholarship?
You need to be at least a 3.5 or higher. Yeah. Yeah. That's for academic. Now, if it's athletic, it may be less than that, but you got to have all the other things. You've got to have the attitude, the discipline, because they're looking at all that. They can deal with your academics. They can help you improve that, but you got to at least have a B, or they're not going to even look at you. They're not going to look at you. I know many kids that were great athletes, but they couldn't make it because they didn't have the grades, or they didn't have the right attitude. They were not coachable. Not coachable. So it's discipline. And you all probably struggle with that right now, with self-discipline. Right from wrong. You know when it's wrong. Nobody has to tell you when it's wrong. You just have to decide that you're not going to do it. If it feels wrong, just don't do it. And there's nothing wrong that if you say something to your friend and it was wrong and you saw that it upset him or her, that you say, I'm sorry. It takes a big person to be able to apologize and say, I'm sorry. And it takes a bigger person to accept it and move on. You know? It takes a bigger person to say, okay, I accept it and move on. Because it happens. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. You never will be. I never will be. And we all have shortcomings. We do. We all have shortcomings. We do. But to be able to look in the mirror and see your own weaknesses and accept those weaknesses and then work on them. Because we all do. But I want you to feel good about who you are. Because I believe you're gifted, you're talented, you're smart, and everybody's smart in their own way. So I want you to feel that you can do anything you put your mind to. But you have to work at some things. And some things you have to work at harder than others. You do. Your parents ask you to clean your room, and you don't want to clean your room. You want to throw everything all over the place. Is that the way you're going to treat your own house when you get it? No. So why not? I can understand going a day or two and not putting things where they need to be. But then, move your stuff. You know where the dirty clothes are. You know where the washer and dryer is. Help out. And if you have parents that are working, they need help. You have younger siblings that need help. Help. But get moving. And some of you have some talents that you haven't even tapped into yet. You're just sitting back because you're lazy. You got some skills that you haven't even tapped into. And you know you're good at it. You're good at it. Some of you are good at talking. Maybe you'll be a politician one day. You're good at it. You're good at the gaps. You're good. Some of you are good at history. Somebody can ask you something, you bring it just like that. Not everybody can remember all them dates and events and things. You're good at it. different things. You're better at some than you are at others, but you're good at a lot. And the other thing is love yourself just the way you are. I have 2 daughters. One is a little tiny something, and the other one has never been tiny. I think she came here 8-pound baby, and she's always been a girl of substance. And I had to tell her, you are beautiful just like you are. I want you to love yourself just the way you are, because we were not all made to be a size 2 or a size 4. Not all of us are made to be 6'5" and 6'10". Some of us are made shorter. Some of us are made a little wider. But love yourself. Love yourself the way you are, because that's the way you were created. You were created to be just who you are, and there's only one of you. Love yourself just the way you are. So I say to young people all the time, love yourself. When you look in the mirror, say to yourself, I look good. I'm handsome. I'm pretty. Because you are. You're beautiful inside. You're beautiful inside. If you're respectful, kind, you're beautiful. And other people see that in you. So love yourself for who you are. Don't let anybody ever tear you down. And don't let anyone make you hate them so that you dislike them so much that you hate them. That's too much of your brain wasted on somebody else. That's too much of your brain on somebody else. When somebody says something unkind to you, knock it off. Because then now you're not, most of these people in this room, you're not going to know where they're at in 5 years. But if y'all stay in high school together, once y'all leave high school, y'all not going to know where each other are. You're not. So what does this person mean to you? Y'all not going to know where each other are. Unless you run against someone somewhere else and you go like, man, I remember you. And he may say, well, I don't know you. I remember you were in my so-and-so class, and you was in my so-and-so, and that's fine. Because you won't know them, I promise you. I'm sure Miss Baker can tell you now her high school classmates, she know what some of them are. How many was in your graduating class? 300 and something?
Yeah.
You don't know where most of those people are.
Half of them.
You won't. You will not. You will not. And you will remember a few of your teachers who were inspiring to you. And I can remember one who didn't teach me nothing. He didn't teach me nothing. Absolutely nothing. And when my schoolmates and I get together, guess what? He didn't teach them nothing either. Don't call no names. I don't call any names in here. I don't want to hear it.
That's it.
I don't want to hear it in that. Huh? I don't want to hear it. You got a question for me back there? You just stretching? Anybody got a question? Yes, sir. Can I get your attention, lady man? Yes, sir.
What's the easiest part of college?
The easiest part of college? Graduation. When you realize that you have, I don't know how it is now. Do they still give you a course Cal-off? You get a course Cal-off, and your subject area, whatever you study, it will have all the classes listed that you need to take, and it'll tell you most of the times, I think, by the semester when they're being offered. So you got to stay kind of on track with that, so that when it's time to graduate, that you've taken all those classes. But you also got to have that GPA, because they will send you home. They're not going to let you stay in college and you're failing. They will send you home. And some colleges actually send your parents a notice and say that so-and-so is not coming to class. So-and-so is not coming to class. So-and-so is not doing his work. And so the parents are not surprised when they send you home, because they will send you home out of college if you're not doing your work. You can't just stay there. They'll send you
It's
home.
like what?
But the easiest part for me was that I had an awesome English teacher. She had just finished college and had come back to our high school to teach. And so when I went to college, my freshman English class, I was exempt from it. We had to take an entrance test, and I was exempt from the class because she had prepared me so well for that English class. So that's why I say to you that education is valuable. You must apply yourself. You've got to learn all you can learn because it will show up later in life. It will show up. How you write your papers, how you do things, all of that. So that was the easiest part, was applying myself in high school and being prepared for college. Okay? Anyone else? Y'all tired of me talking?
No.
Any questions? I know y'all got something. You ask your questions? Anybody thinking about going to the military? Okay, that's honorable, I respect that. I have two brothers retired Army, one brother-in-law retired Air Force, sister-in-law retired Army Lieutenant Colonel. Even when you join the armed forces, you have to take classes and take tests to go and make the ranks. So you still have challenges. You've got to do what you need to do to make more money and make a career.